I was with the 199th Light Infantry Brigade. I was in A Company, 7 Battalion. It was a support battalion. I wasn't in infantry then. I had already gone to postal school, so I got out of infantry. But it was exciting too. I mean, you know, it was different. I went on the 13th day of December, 1969, and my son was 9 months old. So that would have been our first Christmas together. But in reality, I was fortunate enough to come back, and he never knew the difference. He asked me later in life, he said, "Dad, did you go to Vietnam?" I said, "Yeah," but he was too young to know. Because he thought everyone that went to Vietnam died. Nobody came home. So that's why he didn't think I had gone. So that was an experience, one that I lived, you know, and probably if I had to do it again, I would. I didn't volunteer to go. When I came down on orders, I didn't reject the orders. I knew we had a cause to be there. So I did it. So, I mean, you meet friends, and, you know, you become one big family. It's like you're away from home. So those are the guys that you have to lean on if you're having difficulty in adjusting to the situation, because it is an adjustment. You know, you leave here and you go there, and when you first get there, you hear rockets coming in, going out, and it was hard to tell if there was incoming or outgoing. And the guys would tell you, "Guys, just relax, you'll be able to tell." And true enough, after you get there for a period of time, you can tell what's going out and what's coming in. So you knew when to run to the bunkers and when you didn't have to. You know, I was there in '69, so, you know, the afro was coming in. People started wearing the afro, and, you know, you had Isaac Hayes that, you know, was coming around, and Temptations was singing all the songs. The Jackson 5 got started with ABC when we was there. And I worked in postal, so, you know, we would get those care packages, so we made sure that the troops down the line would get them, because it was important. You know, and it's always important to get a letter from home. So we used to make sure that the letters got out to the troops. And when you get to Vietnam, I was a staff sergeant at that time. So, you know, you want to make friends with the mess sergeant, the finance, and the supply person. Because that way you can get all the supplies that you wanted to get, and you can get your money, make sure your pay was coming in, and you get all the food that you wanted to get. And so by them knowing me, if they needed any mail, then I could always get the mail to them. So if you scratch my back, I scratch your back. This is things like that. You would hear, some of the guys was fortunate enough, might have some music that we could hear. And then at the club there, they would bring, the local bands would come around and they try to sing the song. We'd say, "Well, who's singing that?" And they would tell us, you know, like Marvin Gaye and Martha Reed, you know, when they was together. A lot of the groups, you know, because they was making songs about the war at that time. You know, war, you know, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. You would hear things like that, but, you know, you couldn't let that deteriorate your mind, because you know you had a job to do, and everyone wanted to come home. And so we did our job, listened to the music, and then when we came stateside, we really could have a good time by enjoying the music. They was happy to see me. I mean, you know, they was at the airport waiting on me. And it really wasn't a negative part. You know, once we left California, yeah, you know, everybody was protesting the war at that time, you know, you baby killers and things like that. But they were not the ones who were there. You know, it's easy to be on the outside looking in, but when you're on the inside and see what's really going on, then you wouldn't say that, because as we had to do the things we did, you know, because there was people trying to take your life, so in essence, you had to protect yourself, you know, and no one was off limits, you know, because there was no, as you say, when we was fighting in Europe, it was the fever, the forward edge of the battle line. There was no such thing in Vietnam. The whole area was open. So, you know, you always had to be on your P's and Q's. Life is here, and we're all here for a certain reason. We all have our purpose. We might not find out till late in life, but we all have a purpose. And I think that they would stay in school, get an education, be fruitful in whatever you do, and always thank God for your blessings.